welcome back. It is a terrific Tuesday, of course, and it's even more terrific because we are downtown today, not in the middle of Manhattan at the Newsmax headquarters, but as always in the Question Tequila Studios, and we are on Broadway. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco, and joining me again, Frank Morano, my co-host, managing editor, and Ethan Slotkin had some good suggestions.
Smart guy.
And I like when we have those kind of entrepreneurial type guys.
Me too.
I like our audience to learn a little bit about what's happening out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Don't follow my investment advice. That's the best advice I can give people.
Absolutely.
All right, now a little bit of breaking news, John. We have learned that Hawaii Representative Tulsi Gabbard has officially become the 12th Democratic candidate to make the October debate. So the next round of debates is going to be in October. So they're going to be, is it going to be in Ohio, rather, in October. There's 12 candidates. It appears the other candidates are unlikely to qualify. So that means because there's more than 10, it's going to happen over 2 nights. So I don't know if they're going to do 6 and 6. I would think that's the most likely scenario. But this is the first debate that you're going to see Tom Steyer. You're going to see Tulsi Gabbard. And then the 10 that were just in the last debate, they're all going to be back. Biden, Warren, Buttigieg.
I would expect, what? They're going to do another random sample, or they're going to put the adults at one debate and the kids at another debate?
I think it'll be random.
It'll be a random sample.
I think so.
So there is a chance that we could finally see the face-off we've all been waiting for between two septuagenarians, Bernie versus Biden.
Well, we saw that at the last debate.
No, just the two of them.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean? If they put them at the kids' table with like Andrew Yang and Beto around them, it'll really just be
I'll tell you, Andrew Yang is surging. Andrew Yang wants to give me $1,000. I'm going to be hard-pressed not to vote for the guy, I'll tell you. But a guy that is struggling is New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. Now, Cory Booker, his campaign recently sent out a missive saying and begging, basically, for $2 million. He said without this $2 million in cash, he can't continue. Cory Booker was on MSNBC's Morning Joe talking about this. This is what Cory Booker said.
Begging for money.
We have built a campaign to win, but we wanted to be very honest with people. The fourth quarter is when you grow, and if we don't have the money to grow, we are not going to be able to stay competitive in this race. And folks, in my opinion, I don't want to stick around if I'm not in this to win it.
So, did the audience hear what he said? Or
I have
no?
no clue.
Okay. Well, if you didn't hear what he said.
Did the audience hear it?
We think they did. So trust me, he was begging for money in a particularly undignified manner. Now, there has to be a better way. Look at how we're choosing our leaders. We're choosing the guy or gal that's going to negotiate with Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, and the mullahs of Iran by who's best at begging for money from the super rich, who's best at going to a steak fry and acting like a normal person. There has to be a better way to have a government function.
The money is crazy.
And that is precisely the subject of today's Frankly Speaking. So you have to wonder, why do we choose our leaders this way? Is the best way to choose our representatives really to pick the wealthy person or the people that are best at begging for money or the people that are able to con folks into thinking that they look like a regular person? I have to think that there's maybe some sort of alternative that would work in a democracy. Well, it turns out there is. And more people, mostly because of the dismal quality of elected officials that have been getting elected, not just here in the United States, but all over the world, have been proposing something called sortition. Now, what is that? What if we chose our leaders, our legislators, let's say, the way that we picked juries? Instead of 51 elected members of the city council and 435 members of Congress, what if those people were all just selected at random? And you, as part of your service of being an American, you're expected to serve as in the body that makes the government. No more campaigns, no more begging for money, no more going to steak fries. We're going to make decisions about policy the way that we make decisions about life and death. Now, you might think this is a radical idea, but it's been tried in Italy with the ancient Italian republics like Venice. It's been tried as far back as ancient Athens. Take a look at this video to explain exactly how it would work.
Hey, congratulations! You've just won the lottery. Only the prize isn't cash or a luxury cruise. It's a position in your country's national legislature. And you aren't the only lucky winner. All of your fellow lawmakers were chosen in the same way. This might strike you as a strange way to run a government, let alone a democracy. Elections are the epitome of democracy, right? Well, the ancient Athenians, who coined the word, had another view. In fact, elections only played a small role in Athenian democracy, with most offices filled by random lottery from a pool of citizen volunteers. Unlike the representative democracies common today, where voters elect leaders to make laws and decisions on their behalf, 5th century BC Athens was a direct democracy that encouraged wide participation through the principle of ha boulamenos, or anyone who wishes. This meant that any of its approximately 30,000 eligible citizens could attend the ecclesia, a general assembly meeting several times a month. In principle, any of the 6,000 or so who showed up at each session had the right to address their fellow citizens, propose a law, or bring a public lawsuit. Of course, a crowd of 6,000 people trying to speak at the same time would not have made for effective government. So the Athenian system also relied on a 500-member governing council called the boule to set the agenda and evaluate proposals, in addition to hundreds of jurors and magistrates to handle legal matters. Rather than being elected or appointed, the people in these positions were chosen by lot. This process of randomized selection is known as sortition.
Think about it. I'm not suggesting we switch over to this tomorrow, but let's begin the conversation about how it would work. Maybe some political parties can start doing their leadership elections this way. And you might think this is radical. You might think this is crazy. Worked pretty well for the Athenians, and think about it. What's the most important decision government can make for you? It's whether you live or die. Who gets to make that decision? Is it professional jurists? No. It's rank and file people, a jury of your peers. What's the second most important decision a government can make for you? Whether or not you forcibly have to pay money to someone else for something that you did wrong by them. If your peers can make those decisions, why can't they make decisions about how we should live? I'll tell you, this group of clowns that's representing me here in New York, I'll take a random group of 51 random folks on the street over the folks in City Hall. And
say, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want lead in your water or not? And then, everyone votes on it. And, we'd probably do a heck of a lot better.
I don't see how we could do worse.
We're going to take a quick break right now. And if you're thinking about replicating the Greek system of democracy, just think about a couple hundred years from now, how many people will be visiting here and taking selfies of themselves. Hey, I'm in the new Greece. You're watching Liquid Lunch. Be back right after this.
Show us your